Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all keeping well out there in YouTube land. What should I do first? Oh, I'll bring Mark in. At the moment, I've got Mark doing e-worming, and in a couple of minutes, we will probably have Dale in as well. So,
Hi,
Mark,
everyone.
in fact, speak of the devil, and up he pops.
There he is.
We've got Dale in as well.
Hey. Hello, kids.
Good
Hello,
afternoon,
Dale.
young man. How the devil are you?
It's been a
Right.
whirlwind of a day.
Oh,
Nothing?
again.
That's all right. Having some lunch, hanging out. That's the plan. Right. I'm going to go organise here.
Right, here we go. So, I usually put this type of wood really down in a big way. But I thought what I'd do today is just show you what you can do with a piece of pine. Because not everybody has access to decent hardwoods and things like this, and they've just got to use what they've got to hand, and sometimes it is pine. I bought a rather large pine trunk a couple of months back just to use for firewood, and there's this particularly nice crotch piece in there. So it is, what is it? Depth-wise, it's about 4 inches. It'll end up a bit shallower than that. Diameter-wise, around about 10. It'll end up a bit smaller than that as well. But it's just to let you see what you can actually get from a piece of pine. It'll probably not get any finish. It's soaking wet. I've already been soaked when I tried a few cuts earlier on. But we'll see how we get on, just to have a go. And I will now leave it up to the guys to let me know who's in.
Cool. Out in the chat, they have a lovely Amy DeAngelis, they have a lovely Brent Bowcroft, we have a lovely Charlie Taylor, we have a lovely Chris Dodd, we have a lovely Chris Dunn, we have a lovely David Vaughan, we have a lovely Doug Miller, we have a lovely Duncan the Curly Turner, we have a lovely Andy H, I have a lovely Gerald the French Turner, I have a lovely Greg Alexander, I have a lovely Henry Morgan, we have a lovely Harry and Robert at Hodgepodge Woodworks, we have a lovely Ian Leonard, we have the very lovely Joe Senior, ever lovely Lawrence Bagida, ever lovely Rex P, ever lovely Robert Dolman, the ever lovely Dr. Bob, the ever lovely Sid's repurposing, the ever lovely Terry Bartlett, ever lovely Tom Canada, the Wood Jedi himself lurking out there, the ever lovely Webfoot Resin and Wood Creations, and the ever lovely Colin at Wood Wizardry by Colin. Welcome everyone, and anyone else I've missed will catch you up soon.
I was going to say, you made your bed, you lie in it. Starting off like that.
As Piz got that one covered now. It's when I really go off piece, that's when it gets mad, when I decide to make them different from every single person. You know, that's when we kind of go, well, that was a mistake.
That was wrong. How do everyone? Hope you're all well.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming along.
Remember, people, if you want to get a question answered, at least while I'm around, you need to prefix it with "All hail the Wood Jedi."
Woodworm Paul's in. Hi, Woodworm Paul. Steve Ellis has joined.
Paul, in answer to your question regarding the clubs around, best person to drop a note to would be Scott, the Blue Light Tumbler, who's the HWGB representative for the Southeast. He'll be able to tell you what clubs there are, where they are, and who to contact. So Scott's in. Make yourself known, Scott, and help out a fellow tumbler. Find out who he needs to talk to and where.
Alternatively, you can go on the AWGB website and that
I
actually
hope
gives
so.
a list of the clubs throughout the country with contact details as well.
Someone's going QQ. Oh, not sure I approve of this, but here we go. It says, do you like turning wet wood?
Yes, this is wet. It's very wet.
Hodgepodge says, "All hail the Wood Jedi. When turning wet pine, is the water that flies out sticky because of the sap?"
It's not water that flies out. It's sap that flies out. So yes, it is sticky. It can be quite resinous.
It's the wee from all the bugs in the woodworm, all the woodworm bugs. That's what it is. Oh, if it's not. Rex B says, "All hail the Wood Jedi. Have you ever tried the wood tunneling smocks, and what did you like or not like?"
Oh, he's wearing one now.
See, when someone says smock to me, I mean, I appreciate that's what it is. I have more of the kind of thing that you would wear down your way or to go to a wedding.
Yep.
Well,
Wood turn and smock. What I like about them is that certainly the ones that I have, they've got Velcro at the bottom of the sleeves, so you can tighten them up, and they've got pockets in the back, which actually cuts down on the amount of shavings that gets collected in pockets.
aye.
Just form a mortise in this.
Chris Nunn's in. Hi, Chris.
That looks a bit big.
You have 45 watching, young Wayne.
Excellent.
Douglas Mungham's put in an appearance. Hi, Doug. Someone said Jaffa Cakes earlier on. Who was that? Someone just says
Sid, I
repurposing
think.
says, "I have Jaffa Cakes." Damn you, said. Damn you and your cakey biscuity type appropriations. Robbo Robinson's in. Hi, Robbo.
Good afternoon, Robbo. How the devil are you?
Nobody's listening to me.
What?
Hey?
I'm still got the kind of, straw sticking out the hat, kind of, get off me tractor looks wood turn and smoke for you in my head, Mark.
Well, down here it'd be more fisherman's smocks.
You think?
Yeah.
I think the big wide neck and all those
mackerel.
jumpers would be. I think all the big wide neck and those jumpers would be a problem for the wood shavings, personally.
It's nothing like a bit of stereotyping of an old race of
I'm all
people.
for I'm all for it kind of thing. Diversity is not skin deep. That's the way you think. All hail the Wood Jedi. Jaffa Cake first time for me. Found a UK food section in the supermarket behind the hotel this ever. Oh, what do you think, Sid? What's your view? Oh, Seth from Brickhouse is in.
Hi, Seth.
Seth says, "Morning, folks. Actually having to go out to work this morning rather than work from home, so I'm driving. Won't be able to respond. Hello to you all. Hope everyone is well." Thank you, Seth. Joe says she's got loads of Jaffas. She won't be able to say that tomorrow. Lol. You have a package coming your way. Remember, Joe. It should either arrive today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. The shipping says 27th or 28th.
Ian B's in. Hi, Ian.
Hello, Ian. So far, Sid reckons you can feel his blood sugar going up, but they're very good. But they are good. Good man, Sid. We can get behind that kind of review. the risk of being predictable, how big do you think this is going to turn out? Oh, and Ruby Claire's in. Hi, Ruby.
Hiya, Ruby. God, I think I need my swimming goggles on and snorkel with this.
Excuse me. Amy says, "They have a lovely Mr. Mapletree. What projects do you have on the cards?" Oh, good lord! There should be this week. You should see a Marilyn Monroe put in an appearance for someone who's in the chat who asked for the request. She's done, but she's got to be finished in the sense that she's got to get the appropriate amount of glistening glitz.
Ethan Twisted Tree says low blood sugar is far worse than high blood sugar, so Jaffa cakes may be considered a health food.
I consider them part of my 5 a day, Pete. You know what I mean? They have some Jaffa in them. Technically, that's a fruit, so I'm all for that. Steve Ellis says, "What is the general opinion on Jaffa cake, Jerry Jaffa cakes? I think they taste like..." Yeah, Steve, I think we can sum this up. If they aren't the original Jaffas, they're an abomination and must be destroyed. That's how I feel about them. You know, I realize I'm sitting on the fence, but...
Douglas Mungham's got a question. He says, "Oh, hail the Wood Jedi. Is GT85 the PTFE spray that you said was okay to use on the lathe parts, please?"
GT85. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. Oh, let's just have a look, see if it says anything on these cans.
I'm glad you read that question. I've constructed a complete and entire alternative narrative to that one.
Thought maybe you would.
It doesn't actually say on the can. Is Douglas in the UK?
Yeah.
I think so.
Right. Douglas, if you're in the UK, Lidl are selling PTFE spray at the moment for about $2.99 a can.
And WD-40 also do a dry PTFE spray, what I've got in my hand right now.
What are you doing with it in your hand? In fact, don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Be in front of, just happen to be in front of me.
Alternative narrative. Alternative narrative. It's all right. Constructed one entirely. Where were we? We've got a number of Jaffa cake conversations. Young Gerard saying Jaffas are awesome, but prefers the white chocolate and cherry fillings. Young Harry and Robert said they'll need to try one when they visit the UK. And Amy DeAngelis answered Sid's repurposing question when Sid asked, "Oh, hail the Wood Jedi, what are the original Jaffa cakes and who makes them?" And Amy very rightly says McVitie's.
And I'm not joining in this conversation.
No, you shouldn't. I mean, it's just. I mean, the only Jaffa cakes that should be anywhere near you are the ones that are intended for me. You have 58 watching, sir. Remember, folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, hit that thumbs up. If you aren't already, hit that subscribe button and give that notification bell ring. Alternatively, if you really like what he's doing, you can buy the man a coffee at the top of the screen. But either way, I'd encourage you to leave comments beneath the video, telling folks how much you enjoyed it. And that'll really help Wayne as he grows his channel across the coming months and years.
Peter the Parkwood Turner's in. Hi, Peter.
Good afternoon.
I've always wanted to ask Peter, is it specifically Parkwood you turn, or is Parkwood a place? You know, I have visions of you scampering into a park when no one's looking, hacking off a limb of a tree and then scampering away, making a sound like Daffy Duck. Kind of, I'm sorry.
Amy asks, would she be accepted if she emigrated to the UK? Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to try and give this a quick sand. I'll probably be better off waiting until I clear the the inside of it.
Eric Winker's in. Sebastian Ossenhofer's in.
Matt Held's in. Hi, Matt.
Question from Rex B, an interesting one, which I don't even have an answer for really, although we could probably make a guess. Question: does pine have any colours, and how do you tell when they are still standing?
Does it have any colours? Well, this has got a nice little bit of variety. Some of them do, but what you do tend to find is that because, as you can see, it's quite broad-grained, so it can be prone to tear out, which is why you need to have very sharp tools.
They do grow very quickly, pine trees, usually in southern climes, and grow much slower further north.
Now, some of the, like Dale was saying there, with them growing slower, you can get old growth pine, which is very, very tight grained, and that's not bad to turn at all.
If you can picture folks where the pine trees' natural habitat is high in the mountains, or in high elevations, or in northern climes where the summers are short and the winters are long, so you tend to the growth of the tree tends to mirror that. When they're lower down, they tend to grow really fast, which creates the broad grain you see in the wood that most of us enjoy. You know what I mean, in furniture.
You can actually tell, this is something to talk about. You see the black marks around the inside of this mortise that I've got here? Right, that's been caused by the chuck. I meant to show this on the wet piece of oak that I did the other, in fact, that I probably can. Bear with me a second, I'll just pull this out of the shavings.
Peter's answered your question, Dale.
He says, so Peter, I mean, that makes complete sense. Absolutely makes complete sense. However, I do enjoy the image that I created. Oh, look at that.
Right, this is the piece that I turned last week, the piece of wet oak. And I don't know if you can see the black marks inside the mortise there.
Yeah.
So you got to... Right. Now, the thing is with chuck size, with sizing the mortise for your chuck, I did say that I was making this mortise bigger. So when it gets dried out, I should still be able to get the chuck in there because this will probably warp. But you can actually see there how much bigger I've gone. I'm not getting a very good picture there. Let's put it on the overhead.
Blair's in. Hi, Blair.
That's better. So you can actually see, where am I? There. A black line there. Then you've got a big space, and then another black line. That space is where the chuck is not touching. So you can actually see with this that chuck has been. That's better. That chuck has been way, way too open. What you should have on wet wood, a bit similar to this, you need to have just about a continuous black line going all the way around. And that tells that the chuck is, or the jaws are at the right position. Stick that back in the shavings again.
Pete's asking where he put his burning wire. Pete, it's hanging off the handle on the end of your lathe.
All right then.
Where the headstock is.
I was surprised it's just realised you can make us zoomed in scenes in OBS. Well done. Well done. Was that Harry that told you how to do that? Or did you discover it yourself, Robert? Well, actually, let me turn that around. Did you discover that yourself, Harry, or did Robert help? Woodburn Paul says Colombian pine has red in it, which looks really nice. It does indeed. I think it depends where it's grown in Colombia, though. I think it's like a lot of Australian stuff that picks up a certain amount of the dust in the air. Many of the really, really hard Australian woods have got quite a bit of grit and things that are folded into the tree. Yeah, it's Australian people who better answer that than I would. Come on, get some there. Peter Corrigan, sorry, got to go to the shop to buy some Jaffa, says Peter. Good man, Peter. Leave it running. You need the watch time. Get 63 watching, young Wayne.
Excellent.
Remember, folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, hit that thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring. If you really, really like what Wayne's doing, you could buy him a coffee, which is really a wine, but it's pretending to be a coffee for the purposes of this. You know what I mean? And say thank you to the man for putting on these shows, which he does completely for free, 3 times a week. Largely for his own amusement, and I think we just get invited in to hang out. How much movement do you think you would get in pine given it's a wide grain, Wayne?
I'm going to get a lot of movement on this because I'm going to take it fairly thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the wide fast growth will hold water long. I'll hold water for very well, but it will dry out really aggressively, I should imagine.
Well, what I'll do with this, just to show you what can happen, I'll take this in the house and stick it in the window where the sun's going to get to it.
John Hayes is asking a question. He says, silly question, are there more live bugs in wetwood? Well, John, I proposed earlier, which is complete nonsense, but I do like it, that the wetness is actually caused by the little bugs wee-wee. That's why the wood's wet. It's nothing to do with rain or being left outside. So the answer is probably, in reality, the answer is probably you find more bugs in wetwood.
Amy's asking, all hail the Wood Jedi. What's the benefits to turning wood that's wet?
It cuts very, very easy, Amy. That's one of the main benefits. You get some really nice shavings from wet wood. Plus, you can, if it's a nice big piece, you can get the centre cord out. Well, you can do that on dry wood as well, but it's a lot easier on wet wood. And it means if you can get wet wood fairly cheap from the likes of a tree surgeon or things like this, and if you can process your blanks as well, your own blanks, you're saving a hell of a lot of money.
So Sebastian Osenhofer has got a joke out there, and it's been answered a couple of times, but we'll go with this for the moment. He says, what do you call an accident at the lathe? And I would say a toilet too far away. He says a accident, and Robbo says operator error. But I like to think of the idea that it's just too far to make it to that particular nice convenience. All hail the wood Jedi, says Amy DeAngelis. What is the benefits of turning wet wood? And you've just
asked that.
I now feel silly. I shall go away and cry. Read the next one instead. And Podge Woodworth says, John, I suppose it just depends. I've seen some huge larvae cut in wet wood, but for dry wood, I find ants which have made their homing. Twisted Pete from Trees says, main benefit is cheaper free. Proper next question. Rex B says, when turning wet wood, should you take extra precautions to the lathe, like cover it up?
Sometimes it's difficult to cover it up, but what you should definitely do is clean off the bed as soon as you're finished and give it another spray with whatever you use. I tend to use PTFE spray because it's a dry lubricant. But but whatever you use, get it cleaned off, get the lathe bed cleaned off, and give it a spray.
John Hayes is asking, are wetwoods easier on the sharp edges of your tools?
On the whole, they can be.
You have a slightly naughty 69 watching. Oh, gone up to 70, so not so naughty anymore. Remember, folks, if you like what Wayne's doing, please hit that thumbs up. It really tells the YouTube algorithm you like his content. I'll make sure it gets recommended to you in future. If you're not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving that notification bell a bit of a ring.
And again, when you're doing thin-walled bowls or anything like that, you're as well going down like I have here, going down about an inch at a time before you start cleaning out the bulk of the center. Because if you leave the bulk of the center in, it gives more stability to the whole piece.
Cleaning the shed, then. Neil Golden.
Good afternoon, Ian. Neil.
Tony Phoenix is in too. Computer issues, so just ends. He says computer issues, so just ends. 71 watts. John from New Jersey's in. Hi, John. Doug Miller at Woodspun Round says, hello, Ian. And I only say that because I haven't heard it said mention Doug in some time.
Hi, Neil. Doug, Dennis, John.
Steve Fleming's in.
God. Hang on a second.
Have you got some stuff in your goggles?
There you are.
Oh, yeah.
Ian, it's a piece of pine.
It's a piece of very wet pine.
Bet the workshop smells lovely right now.
It does. It does. It smells absolutely gorgeous just now.
So there's an advantage for turning pine. Your workshop will smell lovely. Wood turning by Barry's in.
Oh, that's better. I can see now. You can even see on the handle
Look at that. It's
how
very,
wet
very-
it is.
Doug Miller asked an intriguing question. He says, all hail the Wood Jedi. What will you use to remove the pine sap from your gouges when you're finished?
I will be giving them a good clean just with washing up liquid.
Douglas Mungham asks, oh, hail the Wood Jedi. Would it have been better turning that in your budgie smugglers? Lol. What's to say he isn't?
That's an image I'm now going to be unable to shake for the remainder of the day.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We mean no. I'll think about it. Actually, I've got an idea. What I'll do is I'll open some booze. That'll help. I could almost hear Robert Robertson saying it's a bit bloody cold, Douglas. Lol. When I asked what's the weather like, I could almost hear Robbo saying that. Wayne looks like he's tidied up. Says Neil Gold.
I'm sorry?
How do you feel about it?
Don't
Wayne
be
looks
daft.
like he's tidied up. Says Neil Gold.
Good.
Cliff Dodge agrees with us. That's a scary mental picture. I must confess to being unaware what a budgie smuggler is, but I've formed the view.
Budgie smugglers, swimming trunks.
Really?
Yeah,
Speedos.
very, 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 very tiny swimming trunks.
Ah.
Imagine the Olympic divers. What they
No.
wear.
I must confess to never watching the male Olympic diver.
Or
I'm
the
thinking
swimmers.
about it. I'm not finished yet. I can't actually remember watching the Olympics recently, apart from the archery. For all the right reasons. Jo says it's rather messy, and then she says, with a pouch for the budget. You know, I mean, those two sentences together are disconnected by a other conversation, but I quite like the link.
Roger, budgie is like a small parrot. Budgerigar.
It's a very, it's got, it tend to be, the ones to look out for are the miniature Norwegian blues. They have fantastic plumage. Tend to die quite a lot, but you know, I mean, check out the miniature
Wonderful
Norwegian blues.
plumage, Squire.
Good Monty Python reference.
Robo says Speedo trunks here in Australia. Actually, thinking about it, it's almost as scary as you and the tutu, Mark.
It's nothing quite as scary as that. John Hayes is asking, do you use different speeds for wet wood as opposed to dry wood?
Not really, no.
I have a question. Will you be burning the shavings of this?
Oh, yes.
A friend of mine who is a wood burner complains bitterly about burning pine in these wood burners because it tends to create more soot.
It does tend to
Fine.
create more soot. But I've got the, what size is the flue on my wood burner here? I think the flue on my wood burner is it's either a 5 or a 6 inch flue. So, and it's not that tall, so it doesn't tend to get a hell of a build up, really.
Before it kind of falls in and reburns.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is why it's preferential when I'm using the pizza oven. You've got to use kiln dried wood in the pizza oven.
So I've kind of lost track of the conversation here, but I'm going to summarise it for you then because I think it might be quite funny. Rob was informed us that Speedo trunks are in Australia. So what's a budgie if you smuggle them in a Speedo? And we've gone through that particular part. And then so a case of Amy suggests that a budgie is an albatross. which does conjure up an image of some seriously large speedos. I would suggest, if you're going to smuggle an albatross in front of it, Amy. Although I do get the albatross reference.
I just want to give this gouge a bit of a sharpen.
Chris says, don't call them budgies, call them cockatoos. Cockatoo smugglers. Steve Fleming's not recovered from your demo, Mark. He says, Mark and a tutu, I'm still losing sleep over that one.
Yeah, I caused a lot of mental damage to a lot of people that night.
John Hayes is suggesting you can sell your shavings for people who are doing packing. Sorry.
Sorry.
All right, let's see if I can get into this bit now.
If you rewatch Mark's video very carefully, there is a moment where part of his meat and two veg slips out on the camera, but you have to watch very carefully and slowly to be able to see it. I recommend you go back and watch his video several times to see if you can spot the moment.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of escapage. There's a little bit of escapage.
Just stop saying the word little.
That's what you get for the budgie smugglers comment. Harry or Robert, I'm never quite sure. I've got to say, I'd probably rather see Mark in the tutu rather than Wayne in the speedo. Although the bright reflection would probably blind myself either way.
Dear Lord.
Mr. Corrigan has returned from the shop and informs us, yum Jessica's. Amy Angeles has posted graphical evidence of meat and two veg. I'm sure she's referring to a Sunday lunch rather than anything else. Joe's decided to cast aspersions. She's seen the quality of this chat. Lol. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a bit worried about this. Douglas has now posted a series of images of him poking his tongue out.
Who's worrying?
Very worrying. Let's see how many thumbs up still have, how many viewers. You have 76 people still watching, Wayne, and 37 thumbs up.
And
folks,
still listening.
If you like what Wayne's doing, please hit that thumbs up and give the man some support. If you aren't already, hit that subscribe button and give that notification bell around. You know what I mean? And if you want to tell him how much this conversation has left you with mental trauma, leave him a comment, let them know what you think.
Joe's asking, will pine dry quicker than, let's say, oak?
It really all depends on the thickness that you're turning. To tell this is going to dry out, I would say, in a matter of hours. This, because it's getting towards see-through.
Robert's asking, would you be better using a traditional English grind on the bottom?
In fact, I thought that's where I bloody picked up, but I didn't. Thank you, Robbo. Where did I put that?
Twisted Pete goes on to tell us, Mark did such an excellent job of hiding his wire burner. Say no more. I've given up and sacrificed 2 pencils to make another one. I feel this is a wise decision. No grippage of the wire with bare hands should be allowed.
Nope.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Ben's
no
in.
grippage.
Hi, Ben.
Afternoon, young Ben.
There it is.
Stand in the corner.
It
Unless
fell
you
down.
Oh, don't go stand in the car. Rebel, come join us. Join us over here on the dark side, Ben. We have cake.
They know the rules. After our pass, stand in the corner.
Beat them. Come and join me. Stand with me. I've got swords and cake. Rebel. We've been let out of lockdown. Stand firm, Ben. Stand firm. Question. Amy D'Angeli says, bowl looks awesome. Douglas Mungan's now done sticking out his tongue with a money on it. And it's only a little better, Douglas. Did someone say cake? Yes, Joe. You have them all. You have all of our jackets. Chris almost saw an English bottom. Was that during Mark's video?
No.
Not being funny, but the corner has a bit of a smell. When was it last cleaned? Well, you see, I had a rumour earlier on that Stephen Hosson, I forgot to say, Sebastian's second, Ossenhofer, had an accident in that corner. But it's just a rumour I'm starting. View I'm holding. 40 thumbs up, young Wayne.
John Hayes is
Excellent.
asking, is there a moisture content limit for turning wet woods?
So
No.
we can give you. Well, yeah, there is. If you can swim through the wood, it's probably too wet.
That needs a sharpening as well.
Red to stop, Wayne. Red button to stop. I want to ask other wood turners. How many other wood turners in the chat, when you go to turn your lathe off, do you press the green button instead? Because I bloody do all the time.
No, it doesn't have a green. Actually, it does have a green button. The dead to stop sits up the top, and it gets hit. Which is a habit I've picked up for all the power tools pretty much in the workshop.
It's a bit more.
Hit the big red button.
Ed Oliver does it. I do it. Mike Walt does it. Forever going for the green button. Red to stop.
Robo says, I have a video on Facebook that has water running out of the timber. That would be quite wet. The Wizard of the Big says, no, but he's hit the reverse button. I've got to do a bit of monkeying around in my coronet to do that.
Well,
Woodward says, I've been reaching to turn the lathe off, even when it's off, or to turn off other things like the arbiter sander, wood burner, etc. Charlie Taylor says, turn it off at the mains. Ruby Claire says, Mark, I think it depends on the lathe. I have a large red button, so I'm with you, Ruby. I've got my coronet has a large red button on the top, which you can't really miss.
I've got no excuse. I've got a large red button.
yeah, it's over.
I still press the wrong one.
Hit the red button. Robo says, I don't because I have different switches. John Hay says, are all types of wood available to buy wet, including live edge types?
Yes, there's certainly a Facebook page called Timber Trader UK, and a lot of guys on there sell wet slabbed timber, including live edge.
Just saw the shadow of your hand behind the bowl, Wayne. That's mighty thin.
Yeah, I know. Wait till I put the light on it. If the light's got any power, we'll see.
You don't need you don't have a beard depth gauge there that you need to use, do you?
No.
So no funnel.
What's that? Oh, I might get a funnel eye.
Oh, hang in there, folks. We could get a live funnel. 78 watching, young Wayne. 44 thumbs up. Folks, remember, if you like what Wayne's doing, remember, please hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already and you're fresh to the channel, hit the subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring.
I'll try giving this a little bit of a sand. I don't think it'll sand that well.
Wiggle in that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to sound very
careful.
well.
You be careful. Don't let Billy get too carried away.
Flexi bowl.
Steve Ellis is declaring it as wooden Tupperware. The wood dude's in.
Hi, Stephen.
Wasn't it Fabio Drelly? Where would you be? That wood needs a blue pill to stiffen it up, says Robert or Harry at Hodgepodge Woodworks. Benjamin says he doesn't have a problem, Mark, but I do have the problem of having two things in my hand and throwing the wrong one in the bin. Benjamin says he opened a pack of sandwiches, Wayne, once and threw the sandwiches into the bin instead of the container. Robbo says when they are like that, he uses a heat gun to dry it a bit to sand.
That sounds like a good idea, Robbo. I might just do that.
Oh, hail the wood Jedi, says young Douglas. I have seen tunnels get really close to their jaws.
Sorry, I missed that deal.
He says, Douglas Munger says, oh, hail the wood Jedi. I've seen tunnels get really close to their jaws.
Okay.
Yep. Douglas, you're going to have to expand on that a tiny bit. You mean close as in relationship or proximity or? Doug says that's as flexible as the goblet stem he posted the other day. Dr. Bob says sanding wet pine just clogs good sandpaper.
Yeah, but that's why I use this net sandpaper, because it just cleans off, no problem whatsoever.
I should give that a go for the paint on the frames.
Let's turn the speed down. I could warp this while it's on the lathe doing this.
Have you been here long? Have you been here long? Shut back inside, sir. I say, you've even got smock for it, mate. Have you ever considered that you would make a very, very interesting hairdresser? You know, the flexi look is very good this time of year. No, we can do a wonderful blue rinse with Joe Sonia's Folks, remember, if you like what Wayne's doing and you can ignore us, please hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give that notification bell a ring. If you really want to tell Wayne what you think, go on, give him a comment.
There you go.
Give him a comment underneath the video. Look at that.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's a lampshade, practically. That could be a lampshade very easily. Just a little bit of a funnel hole in the bottom of it, and away you go.
Yep, no problem. I think
if you
I'll
really,
just leave
really
that
like
there.
what Wayne's
Tell you
done,
the truth.
buy him a coffee.
I'm not even going to put a finish on that.
You are at 149, Wayne.
Excellent. I wonder if I can get any shine through the bottom.
tiny. Douglas was asking, when
There you
topping
go.
off, just wondered what would happen if you hit the jaws. Sorry, sir.
Shine through the bottom as well.
That needs a tiny hole and hung up in the workshop.
There you go.
So just saying, Wayne, Douglas Mungham says, when parting off, just wondered what would happen if they hit the jaws when they're parting off.
Right. What you usually get is a nice big catch, and steel either being removed from the jaws or from the tool you're using. That's what tends to happen.
Fantastic, Wayne, says Ian. That's bro, says Joe. That's awesome, Wayne, says Neil Gold. Yeah.
Going back to getting too close to the jaws, you'll notice, certainly whenever I'm doing spindle work or anything, and when I'm going to be parting anything off, I always tend to finish my turning a fair way away from the jaws, so I've got a safe area for parting off.
Couple of final comments out there worth having. Douglas Menace says Danish oil would help with the translucency. Wood Wizard by Colin says that's anorexic. Amy says awesome. That's thin. Wayne says Douglas. Gerard says one word. Whoa. Peter Corrigan says awesome. Wayne. John Hayes says awesome color of word. Chris George says you're joking, man.
You can even see the light shining through just from my the LEDs on the ceiling.
That's proper thin.
There's great feather on that pine, says Doug Miller. And the Wood Dude says, question, is Wayne's haircut available in all good barbers yet? That piece looks great, by the way.
There you go.
Ruby's showering hearts at you and says, well done, that looks lovely.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, you've all heard me in the past. Oh, God, I've got bloody shavings everywhere. I can't...
Wonder why that is.
You've all heard me in the past put pine down as being a wood that's not worth turning. Well, sometimes it is. And like I say, especially for you beginners out there who can't get hold of decent wood, or all you've got is something out of the firewood pile, there's certainly nothing wrong with using pine to practice on. And there's nothing wrong with practicing on wet wood either. Just make sure you do. Yeah, I know.
Left hand.
Left hand. No, right hand.
Right hand.
Right, I'll put my glasses on so I can see it.
There you go.
That's it.
Caught in the eyebrow. It's caught in the eyebrow.
Oh, bloody hell.
Wingets and hingers.
Yeah, Winnets and hingers, definitely.
Hingers.
We'll not go there. Right then. So that's us for today. I hope you enjoyed that. From the comments, it looks like you did. Something a little bit different, straight out of the firewood pile. Very, very wet. I'm absolutely soaked, as are my tools and the lathe bed as well. So that's going to have to get a good clean up before I go out. Cars fixed
there from Ian B. Excellent piece, Wayne. Would be interesting to see what it looks like when it dries, and I think everyone would like that.
Yeah, I'll get it shoved. It's not that sunny today, but it's fairly warm, so I'll get it shoved in the window where it'll get some heat, and see what it looks like come Wednesday evening. I've got to go down the garage and pick my car up. My car got fixed today, deal.
Cool, man. Excellent. Cheap? Expensive?
No, expensive.
Ouch.
300 quid worth.
Not good.
No, but at least I had the part in stock, and at least getting the car recovered yesterday through the insurance didn't cost, so that's a bonus.
Excellent.
Right then, guys, I'm off. I'm going to press the button and let you get back to whatever you're doing today. For those of you who have got to go back to work, sorry.
Look at my life tonight, please.
Oh yeah, Have you put it in, Mark?
I haven't put it in the chat. No, hold on.
Hang on, just before we're finished, we'll let Mark put the link into the chat for his live tonight. Mark is on live tonight at 8 o'clock, doing something quite interesting. I've already seen the practice piece.
There you go.
Grand. So Mark's just put that in the chat.
Thank
I have a
you.
question, though. I have a question about this live tonight. I feel this
Yeah.
is an important question. Is the wardrobe going to be standard issue wood-ton, or are we getting some,
Oh no,
sartorial
standard issue.
Right, Andy's
One
just said, Andy H has just said that he's live tomorrow at lunchtime.
Cool.
Right, I'm going to hit the button. There we are. The button has